everyone! So today I actually got the opportunity to interview Cher from JewelMint, and she's an award-winning stylist, so it was super amazing. It was just a great opportunity to be able to talk to her and ask her your questions. And I actually used the questions that I asked you guys in like a contest video a few days ago. It was kind of a very short running contest, so if you didn't see it, it was only for like a few days. But basically I just asked you guys to answer, or not answer, but ask any questions that you had that you were interested in knowing for me to ask Cher for, because they were on the set of their photo shoot. So I got to ask her a few questions, and I picked 3, and they were not random because I really wanted to see what was asked the most often and just really good questions. So I went through all the questions, and there were so many questions. A lot of them were repeated, so I tried to use some of the questions that were just asked a lot and that were really interested, that you guys were really interested in. So I asked her 3 questions, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys the questions and her answers. Now, we were unable to record the conversation, unfortunately, but I have her responses written down in the questions, so I have it right here, and that's why I'll be probably looking right here to make sure I get her answer and the questions right. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started, but we did include some photos from like the setup of when we were like conversing and everything, so I'll include that in this video. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the first question, I'm not going to associate a certain username for this one who asked this, because there's so many people who asked this question. It was like kind of like 2 questions. So I'm just going to say everyone pretty much asked this question. But it was basically, what was the inspiration behind starting JewelMint, and where did the name come from? So actually the name was already in place before they even started, so they didn't really choose the name. It was just kind of already set in stone. 2 guys actually approached Kate and asked her to make kind of a curator series, and if she wanted to pick from what the manufacturer had already made, but she wasn't interested in that. She just really didn't enjoy the pieces. She wasn't really interested in the pieces that were already made, didn't really find them intriguing. So they got the opportunity from then to, they're like, can we create our own? So they got to create their own pieces for that, and that's kind of how JewelMint started. So they started making stuff that they're interested in making, and it's really interesting. I didn't know this, but Cher let me know that if you look at photos from before like JewelMint was even started, Kate really never, and when I say Kate, I mean Kate Bosworth, she said that Kate really never wore jewelry pieces before then, which I thought was really interesting because I don't know, I just thought it was really interesting. She was just never really a jewelry person. But now if you look at photos, ever since JewelMint started, she's starting to, branch out, and she's get to create jewelry pieces that she's really interested in. So I thought that was really cool. The second question was asked by Harmonic Melody 14, but again, this is a question that was asked pretty frequently. And her question was, how long does it take to design a piece for JewelMint? And I really never knew how long it actually took to create a piece. I honestly thought that they would kind of come up with an idea and then execute it the next month. But I was definitely wrong. She said they always have a bucket of ideas, and office people will put in ideas and they'll just kind of pull them out. And she said the shortest amount of time that it would take to execute a piece would be 3 months, but it can be up to a year long, which is absolutely crazy. I had no idea it actually took that long to, create a piece, because you have to think so far in advance. And she said, nothing is going to be right when it's after a month or 2, because they'll get it back and it wouldn't be sized right, or it's not the right metal, they want to change it up a little bit, so they'll send it back, and it's kind of a back and forth process. But she said it usually takes about 6 months on average. So this July showroom right now that's open, they have been thinking about this, and they thought about the ideas for this back in January, February, which is absolutely crazy because you have to think so far in advance to see what's going to be trendy and everything like that. So she said that, it starts on a piece of paper. She showed me a few designs, and it was on a piece of paper, and it's kind of like a jigsaw process, and they have, 4 different rings or something, and they just want to make it different from last month's and, incorporate different metals and everything like that. And the last question I chose was a really, really good question, I thought, and it was actually asked by my friend Mallory, love from Mallory. And her question was, trends are constantly changing, whether it be with the seasons or fashion fads. How do you at JewelMint stay not only on top, but ahead of these trends to continue designing stylish pieces month after month? So I thought that was a really good question, and I was really interested in knowing that. So I asked that question, and she said it's something that she's always, been able to do. She is an award-winning stylist. She kind of knows how this is done, thinking ahead in advance. So some of her pieces are very really forward. She said it's a reaction, so everyone is thinking, if the trend is like punk, where does that go for next summer? She said designers will sometimes do things that are completely polar opposite if it's not saturated enough, and they're always thinking of fusing two different elements together. So for example, they're taking punk and floral and they're fusing them together to create something new, which I think is really cool. So kind of taking things that are already there and just making something completely different. And she also let me know that chokers are going to be super, super in for the fall. Wearing button-up tops and then having a choker necklace is going to be so in. So I thought that was really interesting, just how they know like what's going to be in. So thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. I had a lot of fun reading through all of your questions. There were so many amazing questions and I wish I could have asked more. Your questions were all amazing. There was really no question that I thought was, you know, not a good question to ask her. I wanted to ask her all of these questions, but I tried to answer, have her answer a lot of the questions that were asked pretty frequently and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. It was an awesome opportunity, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys like JewelMint, then go check it out in the description box below. I will link them and everything like that. I'm actually wearing one of the bracelets right now, not this one. This was actually made for me by Megan Rosette. She's so nice. This one I thought was really cool. Kind of reminds me of like anthropology patterns and everything like that, but this is like a bangle, and then it came with two other ones as well. But I'm just wearing one right now. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!